Hello everyone. What I'm about to show you in this video has been verified and tested by the mechanics here. So relax, we're almost there. Reassuring. Look, when a customer comes into the shop with the Gearbox Malfunction no reverse gear message on their Audi, the first thing we do is ease their concern. Even though it sounds serious, it doesn't always mean the entire transmission is damaged. What's happening is that the car isn't able to engage reverse, and for safety reasons, it triggers that warning. Now, something we hear a lot is, the car drives fine forward, but in R, nothing happens. Or, I put it in reverse and it doesn't respond. Curious. At that point, we already have a clear idea in the shop. When only reverse fails, the issue is usually in that specific part of the system, not the whole transmission. Like one of our techs says, if everything works except R, focus on that circuit. Don't replace everything right away. On the other hand, we also get customers saying the problem appeared overnight. Everything was fine yesterday, and today there's no reverse. In many of those cases, the issue is often with the solenoids or the valve body, which control the flow of transmission fluid inside the system. If one of them fails, reverse simply won't engage, even though the rest of the car works fine. Building on what we see every day, there are situations where the issue isn't mechanical, but electronic. The transmission itself might be fine internally, but if the module isn't sending or receiving the correct signal, reverse won't engage. Some customers tell us sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that's typical of an intermittent issue with sensors or the electronic system. We also can't overlook something very important: transmission fluid. We've seen cases where the level is low or the fluid is very dirty, and that prevents proper pressure from building up to engage certain gears, especially reverse. In the shop, we always say it clearly: if the fluid isn't right, the transmission won't work right. Meanwhile, we've also seen cases where the problem comes from the gear selector, which isn't properly sending the signal that the car is in reverse. One customer once told us the shifter goes into R, but the car doesn't respond. And in the end, it wasn't the transmission. It was the system not recognizing that position. When a customer wants a real solution, we follow a clear process. First, we scan the car to check for any fault codes, then we inspect the fluid, connections, and sensors. If all of that checks out, we move on to inspecting the solenoids or valve body. Sometimes we even reset the transmission module, and if the issue was electronic, the car goes back to working normally.